Hey guys, it's AJ and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about the final ranking for Chuang Asia Thailand 2024. Now, I wanted to make this video for a while, and as of the time that I'm making this video, it had just been a few hours since the final lineup was revealed. So I was like, you know what, let's discuss it because there's some things I want to talk about because the whole history leading up to this year of Chuang is a little interesting. So a brief history about Chuang. Originally back in 2018, it started as Produce Camp China, or Produce 101 China, I believe is what it was called. And it first made a 11-member girl group titled Rocket Girls 101, and two of the members, surprisingly, were from WGSN. So that's a little factoid. It then continued on since then in 2019 with their boy group Rise. And then in 2020 is when I started watching it, and the girl group made out of it was Bon Bon Girls 303. And I loved them with all of my heart and soul. Like, they were legit my number one favorite C-pop group, like, for the longest time, and they still are to this day. And then we go to 2021, and keep in mind around this time they had just released Chuang 2021 and Youth with You Season 3, I believe. Keep in mind, you can correct me on any of this if I'm wrong, because I did kind of skim through it before making this video. But long story short, on Youth with You 3, there was a contestant named Tony Yu, who you might know from Produce X if you've ever watched it. He was in the top rankings in Youth with You 3 for the longest time. And unbeknownst to any of us, he ended up dropping the show before the final episode aired. And remember, he was in the top ranking, like he was consistently in ranks 1 and 2. So that kind of messed with voting a lot. It was stated that it was due to health reasons, but we later found out that there was a scandal going on between his family and the government, if I remember correctly. It's a long story, you can look it up if you want, but I just know that their family was cleared of any wrongdoings, and Tony is currently living his life the way he is right now. But that kind of affected how, survival shows in China were at the time. So Youth with You 3 ended up making a temporary boy group with their top contestants, and this was after Chuang 2021 finished. So their group Insta1, who are one of my favorite groups still to this day, their contracts ended about a year or two ago. So yeah, it kind of sucks. And after that, there wasn't really any survival shows. Like, we haven't gotten any news about a potential Youth with You season 4 or a new Chuang up until Chuang Asia, meaning up to today. So my overall thoughts on Chuang Asia Thailand, I feel like it was definitely, a good way to, bring back the franchise after what happened back in 2021. I love the lineup of mentors that we had. We had Jackson Wang as the main mentor. We had Nene, who participated in Chuang 2020 and was a mentor in Chuang 2021. It was nice to have her back. We have Jeff Satur, who you might know. We have Ten from Wavy. We have Mike Angelo. And there was just a whole bunch of other guest mentors, like Minnie from G Idol. We had Millie. We had Mika Luyu, Nine, and Santa from Insta1 return. So that was fun. Like, there was just a whole bunch of people. We even had Win Meta Win. I forgot about that. We had Min Went to Win. If you're a BL stan, you know exactly who that is. We love it. We love to see it. Yeah. And I also like the fact that there were a lot of international contestants on the show, because in Chuang 2021, that was the main season that had a lot of international contestants on the show. We rarely saw that. So that was interesting to see. The only main gripe I had with the show is the voting system. If you have the WeTV app, that's the main way that I voted. There are other ways to vote, but that's the main way you could vote. And another way is to literally buy votes. You could legit spend money to give benefits towards your favorite trainee, which could boost them in the rankings. And this works in both good ways and bad ways. Mainly in bad ways, I would say. The two trainees that I distinctly remember this affecting the most are Zoe and Lu Yuting. Zoe was one of my top picks from the get-go of the show, and her ranking was so low because, if I remember correctly, the app WeTV wasn't available in India, so you couldn't really vote. And the only other way that you could is by using benefits, therefore meaning that you would have to legit pay just so you could get her ranking up higher. In the case of Lu Yuting, I barely saw her in the first beginning of the series, and she somehow ranked within the top 5. I think she was in the top 9. Let's just say that, because I don't remember her exact ranking, but it was the first elimination, I believe. She was in the top 5 or top 9, something like that. And I was like, looking back at all the episodes, you barely see her within the first few episodes, and she somehow ranked in the top 9. Like, I was like, no, because the only other way you could think of is that her fans spend money to rank her ranking higher. And I was just like, can we not do this? Because it doesn't benefit anybody if people are given unfair advantages in terms of voting. Yeah. And I'm not the only person that thinks this, because I know that when I look at the Instagram, a lot of people comment about the voting and they're like, bro, this voting doesn't make any sense. Like, how is this trainee higher than this trainee? Why is this trainee eliminated? Why is she still here? It was just a whole complicated mess. And I hope if they continue with Chuang, they fix the way that they do voting, because people are going to use money. They're going to ask people to vote for their favorite trainees and use a way to vote for the trainees. It happens with a lot of Asian survival shows. There's nothing you can really do about that, but there needs to at least be a limit, because that was honestly ridiculous. But overall, I did enjoy the performances of Chuang. I think the girls have improved a lot. If you look at some of the girls, they definitely improved a lot. So I'm overall very proud of all the trainees that came out of the show. I do personally wish that there were some other trainees that ended up in the lineup, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. So let's talk about the trainees that made it into the top 9 for the girl group Gen1es. At the end of the episode, they revealed that the girl group's name is Gen1es. Overall, I think it's a cute name. The logo's kind of cute, but yeah, I don't really got much to say about it. So they first announced their 8th ranking contestant, which was Didi. I didn't fully pay attention to Didi that much until later on in the series. She does show a lot of potential to be a leader or a mother figure almost, because she definitely has that little dainty, cute little side to her. And I feel with some time she could definitely show some versatility and some very powerful performances. But overall, I'm not 100% mad at her being in the lineup, but I do wish that there was potentially another trainee in her place maybe, but I'm not overall mad about it. Coming up in 7th place was Zuya, and I personally know Zuya from Produce 2020 or Chuang 2020, however you want to call it. And I personally was very impressed with her improvement since the show, and I'm just happy that she finally reached her dream of being able to debut. I think she has definitely earned her spot. Personally, I was not going out of my way to vote for her to near the very end, because I wanted some other trainees to go, but I'm happy that she was able to finally make her dream come true. And she is very talented, and I am just very happy that she made it. Coming up in 6th place was Wonka, and I personally didn't watch Produce 48 all the way through, so I don't really know much about her. I just know that she came from Produce 48, so I'm very happy for her. She has definitely shown why she deserves to debut. Every stage that she's done, I think that she was very, very talented, and I personally think that she could potentially be an all-rounder. She has the potential to be a really good vocalist. Her dancing ability is very good, and she could be a really good rapper. I think that she's going to be a rapper in the group personally, and I think that overall I'm very happy with her being in the group. I did vote for her a lot, so I was hoping that she was going to make it, and I'm not mad about her being in the lineup at all. So coming up in 5th place is Elene, and I didn't fully pay attention to Elene that much. All I knew is that she had a really big fan base in Malaysia, because she's from Malaysia, and I know that she has a really strong fan base there, and a lot of people were voting for her. They were yo, Elene center, Elene first, Elene top 3, and I'm like, okay, let me at least see what Elene's about, okay, because a lot of people are hyping her up, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I was 100% blown away with Elene, but for her age, I think that she is a very talented trainee. She was a very talented contestant. She's definitely improved with each stage that she's in, and I kind of felt bad for her at some points, because you could definitely see that she was putting pressure on herself to show everybody that she has what it takes, and that you see that with a lot of trainees. I'm going to talk about another trainee that did that later, but with Elene, I feel like she definitely did prove herself. I'm not mad about her being in the lineup. Do I wish that somebody else was in her place? Maybe. I'm not gonna get into that, but I overall am okay with her being in the lineup. It's not something that I'm like 100% blown away about, because not gonna hold you, this lineup is kind of predictable. At least the top 5 were, which we'll talk about later at the end. But yeah, I kind of predicted that she was gonna be in the group anyway. Coming up in 4th place is Yin, and when I tell you that Yin was my number 1 girly since her audition stage, like, she was that girl, bro. Like, if I'm right, she was 20 when they were filming. Like, she is a powerhouse vocal, bro. Like, this show had a lot of really good vocalists. Like, we had Krista Shim, we had Arjing, we had Ying, we had Momsu, we had Tegan, Kaylin. We had a whole bunch of like really talented vocalists. I do wish that we had more vocalists in the group, like those type of vocalists, but I'm happy we at least got Yin, bro. Like, her improvement in her dancing is just amazing. Her vocals just blow you away every time. So like, I was just like praying that she made it, and I'm just happy that she made it. So yeah, I'm satisfied with her. I'm happy for Yin. Coming up in 3rd, we have a very interesting placement. We have trainee Pailu. Now, at the beginning, I was like trying to understand the hype of Pailu, because all I knew about her prior was that she was Miss Thailand. I forgot which year she was, but she was Miss Thailand, I believe. So she had kind of like a little reputation going into the show, because a lot of people knew her beforehand. Her audition stage wasn't anything spectacular. She needed to improve in her vocals and dance ability a little bit, but as the show went on, you could definitely see that she has improved a lot since then. Like, in the 3rd stage, which was the final stage before the finale, the collaboration stage with mentor Wang Jihe, I believe that's how you say his name. Yeah, you could definitely see her vocal improvement with each performance that she had. You can see her dance improvement. Like, it's nothing spectacular or out of the ordinary, but you could definitely see her improvement with each stage that she had. I do wish that her ranking was just a little bit lower, because I personally don't think that she should have been 3rd, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys thought, because I know a lot of people have mixed opinions when it comes to Pailu and her placement. But overall, I'm not 100% mad at her being in the group, but if it were up to me, which it's not, I would personally put someone else in 3rd over her. After that, they announced the trainee that ranked in 9th, and that was Emma. I'm actually happy that Emma was in there, because between her and Eileen, oh my goodness, between her and Eileen, I wanted either one of them in the top 9, because they had the highest chances of making it. But I'm just happy that Emma made it, bro. Her dancing is really good. She improved a lot within her vocal and potential rap ability. It was just really good. I'm happy for her. She, honestly, in my opinion, I think she really did deserve it, because she worked really hard. Not to say that all of them didn't work hard, but you could see on her, in her performances, she like has been improving with each performance, and I'm overall just really proud of her. And then finally, we find out that the top 2 trainees for Gen1es are Zhao Yiyu and Ruan. And we're going to talk about both of them. But first, let's start with Zhao Yiyu. Zhao Yiyu, again, similar to Elene, is someone that I didn't fully pay attention to until like I saw their rankings. And Zhao Yiyu was like starting to rise in rankings, and then she became 1st for like the longest. So I kind of predicted that she was going to be 1st and Ruan was going to be 2nd. But I can understand why Zhao Yiyu is 1st. She definitely earned her spot in that group. Like, her performances ever since her kickback stage, I have loved Zhao Yiyu, and she has definitely shown us why she can be in this group. And like in the last stage, I think it was not the last stage, but like in one of the stages, she wanted to show versatility, so she did What Is Love by Twice. And normally you would see her as someone doing more of like a girl crush or like a boy group type of song, but she wanted to show versatility. And while it wasn't 100% perfect, it's proving that she has what it takes to reach out and try different things, as well as be able to showcase her ability to be in this group. And with Ruan as the center, I'm not mad about it in the slightest. Finally, we have Ruan, if I remember correctly, she is from Girls Planet 999, and you know, I always gotta root for the Girls Planet girlies no matter what. And looking back at Girls Planet, and looking at her performances now, you can definitely see a mass improvement from when she was on Girls Planet to now. Like if I'm right, she became the center for the theme song Summer Dream when they performed it. When they performed it live, I think she was voted the center. So like, massive improvement from the get-go. And there was one stage when they did Nightwalker by 10. You could definitely see like that then and there solidified how hard and how badly she wanted this, bro. Like she was stressing out so much because she's consistently been ranking high, and she put all this pressure on herself to like exceed everyone's expectations, and she literally almost ended up passing out because of how stressed and worked up she was. And I felt so bad, but like at the end of the day, you could definitely see that Ruan deserved and worked really hard to be in that lineup. And it's not to discredit any of the other trainees, because obviously they all worked hard. They wouldn't have been on the show if they didn't. But I'm overall just really proud of all of them. And Ruan, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that she's in the lineup, and I honestly think it was definitely deserved. So my overall thoughts on the lineup for Gen1es is that I'm not 100% mad, but I'm also not 100% satisfied. Similar to how I was with Universe Ticket. If you saw that video where I talked about the lineup for Gen1es, it's kind of similar in that sense, where I'm not mad about the lineup, but I do wish that there were some other trainees that were in the lineup as well. Like we had trainees like Pro, we had trainees like Lisa, Mamsu, Preem, Coco, Akina, Zoe, Tegan, and a whole bunch of other trainees that I feel like could have been in this lineup or even in another group, and just, you know, be able to be in a group. Oh, and RJ, yes, because vocals, and Krista, because vocals as well. Like a lot of people, I know some people are going to probably complain that, you know, the group doesn't really have a lot of strong vocalists like Yin, and they need another member like Krista or RJ to be in that group to, you know, have more vocalists. But you know, it's gonna be similar like what I said for Gen1es. They have the potential to grow, and it's only a temporary group if I remember correctly. I don't know how many years they're gonna be together, but I think it's gonna be temporary. But they definitely still have room for improvement, and there's a lot of time that they have between now and their official debut to do that, because they showed us a snippet of their debut song that will be available at the end of April. I don't know if it's exactly their debut song, but I know that we're getting a song with all 9 of them at the end of April. So we can see by then what it'll look like, because it's not going to be like a regular K-pop group. It's going to be like how it is with the other Chung groups. Like I feel like they're going to be able to promote more internationally now because of like how Chung 2024 was, but only time will tell. So overall, I'm not mad, but you know, I wouldn't be mad if other trainees were there as well. That is going to do it for me. Let me guys know what you thought of Gen1es, what you thought of Chung Asia as a whole. What are some things that you would want to change? What are some things that you would want to have be in the lineup? What are some predictions that you have for Gen1es as a whole? And if there's any other groups that you want me to talk about, or any videos they want me to react to, do not hesitate to leave them in the comments, and I will definitely get to them when I have free time. And without further ado, I will see you all in the next video.